Time Charlie fell overboard in the channel on ice.
What? What happened? Tell me that.
Well, it was during, must have been during the school break. But anyway, he was with me. He was up on the bow, tall. I had George. George, what is his name? They used to call him Sweet George.
Lanham.
George Lanham.
George Lanham.
Used to have a band.
Yep.
And George was a nice fellow.
Yep, I remember George Lanham.
And he worked with me several years. And George was on the right side of the boat. George was up on the bow, and Ricky was towing him, calling rather. And all of a sudden, there was nothing worse than that. We weren't anchored. We had weights overboard, I guess, because we were afraid of getting caught with anchor. And all of a sudden, I heard the motor start up. George started it up. She was on the right-hand side of the boat. And I happened to look up, and Charlie fell overboard on the ice.
Get out.
The ice about that big. And he was floating right down the channel. And Barry Coleman was behind me. And he seen him when he fell overboard, too. And he just started right up and got it right immediately, you know. And everything Charlie got wet was his foot.
Get out. So what was he doing? Or was he tonguing her?
He was tonguing.
Fell over, but fell on a chunk of ice.
Chunk of ice.
Get out of here, man. Now all he got wet was his foot.
He got up because I always kept cold weather. Always kept far.
Right.
And he got up there and got himself dried. Most time I kept extra clothes too, like stockings, pants, and all that kind of stuff.
And you were working the other side of the boat, so.
I always liked to work the left-hand side of the boat.
Why is that?
That's where I started off at.
Right, just like your side of the bed. You feel comfortable on the left side of the boat.
I could tongue on the right-hand side, but I prefer to that.
So when you say left and right hand, like left side of the boat and right side of the boat, that's port and starboard, right? No matter what, no matter where, because you're always, even if you're standing in the opposite direction, it's still right or left.
But most people didn't say. Very few people said port and starboard.
Right.
Most people just said right.
Left or right. Because it's looking this way toward the bow of the boat, right?
Yeah, toward the bow of the boat, the left-hand side would be
right
here.
No matter where the boat was placed.
But I always tongued on the left-hand side. And Billy Benton, old man Billy, he always liked the right-hand side.
So y'all were good partners.
Oh, we worked together a lot.
Is that right?
I'll tell you about that. Another little story.
Please do.
That I think it's the same morning. Rick and Charlie were 14 or 15 then. It's during the winter, cold weather. And Billy he worked with me quite a bit when he was younger, but then he got the union over there around D.C., which he made pretty good money. And he worked year round. So this morning, I called Ricky half a dozen times. Charlie would get right up. Ricky had been out that night with some boys, I guess. And he laid in that bed. We had double beds in there. And I must have called him 5 or 6 times. I told him, I said, now I come here next time, you will get up. So I took a pan of water in there, like he'd caught tea with or something like that, and poured it right on his head. But who had all the work to do was her. So after we went to work, he had to. But anyway, I'm positive it's the same day. We went up Chester River that morning. It was snowing just a little tiny bit. And time we got up there, I was pretty sure where these horses were. And on what they call Johnstown. That's up before you get to Piney Point. Small, narrow place. And them 2 boys was calling. Me and Bo was talking. And we piled them up. The board was completely piled up, run down the bow. And I thought the old board was getting old. And Billy says, if that board breaks, we're going to be a hell of a mess. I said, yes, we are. He said, if it don't break, he said, tomorrow morning, I had the lumber. He said, tomorrow morning, I will build a new calm board. And he did.
Is that right?
But we caught 72 bushel oysters that day.
Get out, man. That's a lot of oysters.
But they've been planted there, see, and Chester River, it's like Wye River. Wye River's the best place to stay in Maryland, up there at Channel to grow oysters. Anyway, we got straightened out.
Why you think that?
It snowed a damn blizzard while we was oysters.
Really?
And well, before we got ready to come home, it slacked up. Conway went down in there and it stopped.
Get out, man.
Like it is today. Look, see, sun's out.
But you were out there the whole time during the storm.
Yeah, it was just snowing.
Right.
I never mind working in snow. I never liked to work in rain. I've done it.
Right.
But I wouldn't. It wasn't my cup of tea.
You worked in a lot of wind now.
Yeah, but wind, if you're in the right place, you got to figure on wind. You got to figure on where you can go.
You didn't mind working in snow.
Of course, it was a dry snow. What I remember.
Right.
The difference between a wet snow and a dry snow.
Right.
A lot of people would work in snow. Some of them would come home and come home.
It wouldn't lay in the boat.
Oh yeah, you have to keep getting
work
it
it
out.
right.
Yeah, you have to keep getting it out. But if we were on a Fairmount horse, we knew that if we stayed there, we were going to make
Right.
a real good day's work.
As opposed to going out there and turn around and come back. You were out there already, right?
Yeah.
That's hard work though, man. Not a lot of people were cut out for that.
Well, you're right about that.
Right? Like.
Some of them soon found out that they weren't cut out for it.
Right.
But I mean, my back's hurting me right now. I got a little heat on it right behind me. But I used to put back straps on and all that stuff.
What did you think when people started diving for oysters?
Worst thing ever happened to oysters.
Yeah.
Most anybody that knows anything will tell you that. Now these young bucks that dive won't tell you that. And it brought a new clientele of people into the seafood business. A lot of them guys that come over here and moved here,
Mm-hmm.
and they went crab potting and all that kind of stuff. And some, like I said, new bunch of people came into the county. That's after, now years ago you couldn't have done that when it was county lines.
Right.
But after it got to
So county lines, were there only a certain number of licenses they would give for each county? Or?
anybody get a license.
Anybody could do it.
You could only work in the county that was you
Right.
resided in.
And I'm sure that caused, you know, like you said, that contention between Kent County, Queen Anne's, Talbot.
Well, see, you could work in commons in a place like Chester River.
Gotcha.
Now, if you went up in Reed's Creek,
That was Kent
you
County.
were now that was Queen Anne's.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In Corkscrew River, that you were landlocking yourself.
Right.
And if you went over in Kent County, what we call
Like Langford?
Langford, Spain, and places, you were landlocking yourself then. You couldn't go over there.
Right.
They could have all kinds of orchards. You don't have them. But some of them went over and stole them, but they got caught.
Right.
They were going to get arrested.
So I don't imagine that there's quite that contention anymore between
Oh, no.
watermen and different counties, because you're not.
Because you all can go where you want.
Right.
You're
More
not-
freedom.
Yeah. You're not supposed to dive certain places.
Which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Did you think that that was so bad because they depleted the oysters so bad?
They pick them up, and they're not working the bottom.
Right.
When you hand tong or patent tong or drudge, you're taking stuff up and throwing it back overboard.
Right.
Actually, anybody now the diver might not tell you that, but
That makes sense, though. I didn't, yeah.
they're working the bottom.
Right.
Just
You're
like-
turning it over, just like a garden.
That's right. They're turning it over and over and over.
Wow.
When they first opened it up statewide, and you could work anywhere, who do you think had the most oysters in State Room? Eastern Bay.
Oh.
But it was any shoal spot in Eastern Bay had oysters on it.
No kidding.
But what's hurt the oyster business is not only diving, but the state don't put shells overboard no more. You got to keep planting shells. The first man that started that big time was Talls. You don't remember?
I don't, but I've read about him.
Chrisfield.
Mm-hmm.
Now we always put fresh shells overboard out of theirs with icing. Worcester propagation, I've done that a lot. And but after that they started dredging them shells, and it brought the oyster business right back to a certain point.
And was there some bad feelings about, say, like clam riggers and oysters?
Oh yeah,
Oystermen?
They dug up a lot of. It wasn't what they dug it up so much as that sand gets in the tide and washed in different places, you know.
So a clam rig basically blows up the bottom, right, onto a conveyor belt.
And some of them put so much pressure. Because I've never clammed in my life. I've been on a couple times with other people.
Sure.
Jamie one time, get West Thompson.
Right.
People like that, but they were. It was digging up, they put so much pressure on, more pressure than needed, so it would dig more.
Right.
And like I say, I don't know that much about it, but I do know, I've heard it all say. I heard some of the clammers say that they didn't need to put all that pressure.
And it tore up the
It tore up, made it worse.
made it worse.
Yeah.
Like the opposite of diving.
Yeah. Well, divers just go down and pick up the very biggest oysters. The rest of them they don't pick up.
Right.
And they're not moving the shells. They're not moving the little oysters.
Right.
That's what really put the mojo to diving.
And then pollution.
Oh my God, nothing like pollution. All this stuff washing out of the water.
Right. Storms, big hurricanes have had when the wash off and all.
It was like Chester River was one of the best. It was winding down. Chester River was actually winding down when I first started oysters back in the 50s. It was winding down. But back in the 30s and 20s, there was so many oysters in Chester River, it was unbelievable.
Is that part of the reason that the Kent Narrows had so many packing houses?
Yeah.
Was because of Chester River?
Old man from
Eastern Bay.
Old man from Chrisfield told me his name was Christie. He used to send a boat up there to buy oysters. He told me that a lot of people, young people, would laugh at it. He said the best oysters in the United States, as far as Eastern Chester River oyster always had a thick shell, real thick shell. And they keep longer after you shucked them in cans. He said there's no oyster in the United States would keep as long in the shell or
in the can.
That's where they come up there and buy them. See?
No kidding.
I've heard Parnell say one time they had oysters lay on the floor for 25 or 30 days and couldn't. See, sometimes they couldn't get rid of them. Even the packer would have oysters couldn't get rid of them. And then they shucked these oysters and put them in cans and kept them for another 25, 30
Get
days.
out, man.
I wouldn't want to eat them. But
no, I wouldn't. But if you eat out of a can, I guess you don't know if it doesn't make you sick.
That's right. It don't make you sick. It might have made some people sick. You don't know that yet.
You eat seafood. You eat
yeah.
all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I'll eat anything.
Some people who worked on the water said, I don't eat oysters, or I don't eat clams, or this, that, or the other.
But there's nothing in the world any more tastier. The two most tasty things that man can eat: salt grapes.
Oof, I
Do you
agree.
like 'em?
I do.
And out of that is good sausage. I don't mean this stuff you buy in the store.
Right.
But you get some farmer that I used to buy from the guy at Barclay. And people used to make it just like our father used to make.
Right.
And
but good sausage.
Good sausage is fit to eat.
I can't think of the last time I had any really like homemade or great sausage.
This man up to I think I bought meat from him before, but I don't know about sausage or not. He comes into Centerville. His name is Dodd. He's got a place up Suttersville.
Okay.
They claim Charlie says he got there on Saturday morning, got to wait in line.
And they have he might do that. They have a little farmer's market.
He
does he?
I've seen it.
I'll have to check that out. I always forget it's there until I
they
go
usually
by
have it on a Wednesday.
Yeah. Always forget about it until I go by. Like, oh shit, that was today.
Anyway, I used to get it from a guy up there named he was friends of Arlene's brother. Butler. Bean and Butler. He died, but his son's still. They were on television last summer as one of the farm families.
Oh right.
And the old man's dead there, Beanie. And I tell you one thing, he raised his own hogs, killed his own hogs, and made his own sausage.
Man.
And I'd be willing to say that what nobody in the United States could have made it any better than he could.
They don't catch soft crabs around here like they used to, do they?
Takes grass for soft crabs.
Right.
I shed it for a couple summers.
That was big business, right? Is it still?
Yeah, today it wasn't when I was shedding.
No.
You had trouble selling them sometimes.
Is that right?
I was dragging. That one summer I was running fishing parties and dragging for soft crab for peelers, and had some eel fights overboard. I don't know how, but they had them two boys would help me. That's what it was.
Right.
And I could catch 2 to 3 bushel of peelers a day. It was so many crabs, 5-inch crabs. I can remember I give them to you
My grandmother, yeah.
A couple times.
She loves soft
No,
crabs.
not soft crabs.
Oh, the peelers.
No, hard crabs.
Hard
The
crabs.
5-inch ones.
Oh, right.
I could sell the 6-inch hard crabs.
Right.
Mr. Hunter up here. But if I could have kept all the 5-inch crabs, 5.5 that I was catching then, I'd have caught 10, 15 bushel a day.
Man.
But you couldn't get rid of nobody.
Right.
Wanted them. You had to give them to somebody. I give them. Somebody said, "Well, will you get me a bushel?" And most of them I just pick them out. And give them. I give them there a couple times. I remember that.
Well, back in the day, nobody really, there wasn't much of a market for soft clams as far as eating, right? I mean,
Not around here.
Not around here.
They shipped them up north.
New England, right?
Yeah, and people up there eat them.
And then they started selling them
The
around.
Yankees ate them.
They promoted them around here, right? Like,
Well, I think now you can go places and get soft.
Yeah.
I like soft shell clams.
Peggy, my wife loves them.
But they make me sick.
Do they?
Well, I mean, they're so rich.
Yeah.
Rich.
Yeah.
Even richer than that. I mean, they're much richer than oysters.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
The taste of them's alright. I like them alright. So I mean, I don't care for them in stew that much, but
No.
and what they call deep fry 'em.
Yeah. With the belly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty good that way. But
I like it.
I ain't
It's
eat-
funny when people have get clams and it's just the strips. They go, "Oh, that's a clam."
They come out of the ocean.
Those clam strips.
Because when clams got down so you couldn't get them, I used to go over to Ridgely and buy that stuff. I knew that guy had charge of it all, but he wasn't. He didn't have a shucking house. He just had charge of the stuff. He fed it to his hogs. Dean.
Oh, yeah.
One that's had 2 daughters.
Yeah.
What's his name? Anyway, he used to take it out in the field and dump it out there for the hogs.
Ain't that something, man?
But I'd go over in the mornings. I'd get there in the morning. I'd leave here 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'd get it. And in big containers like that, that was the most potent stuff that I put overboard for eels.
No kidding.
It was the best, by far the best. But you had to put it on ice, and they'd shut down clam in that year. And I used to deal with that man I was telling you about, the Yankee man, Bill Neal.
Right.
Was a nice, good man, and he used to let me put it in the freezer, not the freezer, but the other place.
Like the walk-in.
If you left it outside, if it was a level thing, the next morning it'd be up like that.
No kidding.
But it would catch eels.
No.
It's stinky. It just always stunk.
So you put it in the pot, in the eel pot,
It
and that would attract them.
It would catch eels.
No kidding, man.
It was potent stuff. It was a belly. They were something in great big clams like that.
Right.
When you see strips.
Right.
Clam strips, that's where it comes from.
K-hogs or something they call them up north.
They might.
I think
I don't really know.
something like that. Big old clams though.
Yeah, they caught them up off Delaware Bay.
So that's what a lot of people think of as fried clams. So when they see them with the belly, they're like, "What the hell is that thing?"
Well, years ago they were called manos.
Manos.
And then people started digging them for. People would eat them in.
I remember some old black guy used to come up Norman Pearson's there and had them in the back of his truck, and we get back there and piss clam, shoot them at
You
each
go down
other.
shore and dig them with your hands.
Right.
They could go down awful fast. And something, if we dug up 1 or 2, thought doing something.
And then Jack
People ate
Coursey.
them even back then. People used to eat them.
And people, they said that, somebody, I think Jack Coursey told me that like his father would back a boat up
Yeah.
and then blow them up.
That's how they first started to catch.
Right.
They dug so many holes
Right.
that the environmental people. Well, today they were crucified.
Right.
Right.
Right. Well, a lot of things were done then that probably get you in a lot of trouble now.
Oh, you couldn't do it.
Right.
They wouldn't want you. If you went down to Cabin Creek this afternoon and put down steaks, we used to put them down by hand.
Yeah, right. Wooden stakes out in
And you
the.
put a couple of them down for a boat. You'd hear from the county right away.
Really.
But people might have to go back to that.
Well, that's what I remember as a kid, always having the boats out on stakes.
Oh yeah.
Even like Thompson's Creek, there's still boat
Everywhere.
out. Yeah.
Well, they probably still do it down there.
They do.
Well, back down there where your grandmother, Virginia,
Mhm.
and Grover lived.
Back there at Warehouse Creek.
Yeah. It's Big boats there.
No, it ain't nothing back there anymore. That little landing ain't worth. That's just a little teeny.
They don't tie boats up there no more.
Not that I know of, Charles. Maybe, but I can't remember in years. You know, somebody might come up there once in a while. I remember when Reba and Bud, Grover's stepsister, and them lived in that house there. And then there was a little cabin that Stanley Stearns used to paint the duck stamps.
Yeah, I remember.
Remember him? He lived in that little, and he was building a sailboat to sail around the world or something. I never did follow up on what that.
It got right.